friend. We've known each other for a couple, well,
Months?
months. Yeah, a couple
Something like
months.
that.
Adam Wheeler.
That's me.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
Thanks
glad
for
that
having
you
me.
came and joined me on the couch.
Yeah, this is cool. Like I said, y'all have such a like being in comedy where we're like splitting one microphone on a couch
Yeah.
and like that's how the interview is going. This is y'all
It's
doing
nice.
it right.
I'm glad it's up to par.
Yeah.
I met Adam at Taco Tuesday. Shout out to DJ Simone and DJ Squizzy Taylor,
it
the mayor.
Mile High Spirits is the place?
Yeah, my house spirits. Which it was a whole vibe that night. A
Mhm.
whole vibe. It was a good night that night. It was a good night.
It's the only night of the week that place has that vibe, from what I'm told.
Because they got some of the two best DJs in the city.
Yeah, DJ Smells Legit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I met him there. We were meeting up with Sierra, which y'all got to meet, and everybody, and all her friends.
Mhm.
That was the first time meeting all her friends.
She got a few.
She has a few. He was a part of the friends.
Mhm.
And
I think that was the first night I met her too. I
really?
think it was all at the same time. Yeah.
Wow.
I was friends
didn't know
with
that.
Piper.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
I
yeah,
didn't
her and
know that.
I talk all the time though too.
I just thought she was connected with
Mhm.
with them already. Okay. But yeah, I met him there, and he's a good looking white guy.
I think the first thing you said to me, because it was like you had like we were just like the initial like how long you been in Colorado,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that dumb
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And you said yeah, I moved here through where are you from, Ohio?
Yeah.
Ohio, then Atlanta. I was like, oh yeah, I've never been to Atlanta, and she goes, oh, they would eat you up. She said,
I did say that.
yeah, you said something
Though
about,
I feel like the woman in Atlanta would eat him alive. Okay.
I was born way too far north. I'm from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Where everybody looks like me.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. Minneapolis is cool.
Because that was the main thing. Like he pulled out his driver's license or something like that. An old picture of what he used to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and for those who don't, well, we're gonna get to it, but he was married before to a black woman, and I said she must have did you right, cause honey, I said the upgrade is level.
So here's the thing, is that the upgrade happened after she left my ass. So it was the pain inflicted by a black woman that
made me be
triggered the
like,
transformation.
Ooh,
Yeah.
how can I be more?
Yeah. I mean, maybe that, or it was more like, something's gotta change. Like, yeah, it was a little more. It was a little more G.I. Jane than I think you might be thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we met, dog.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely thought he was a good looking white man. And I was like, okay, I don't mind hanging with you. You got some flavor.
I think the phrase you used was white boy swag.
Yeah, you definitely have white boy swag.
Thank you.
You do. With his hoochie daddy shorts on this couch. So.
Yeah, are we getting thigh in the shot? I don't know. Yeah. Right.
His thigh is almost thick as mine. But yeah, just tell the people more about you. Man.
I've been in Denver like 9 years. Moved here with my brother and the woman that set my life on fire. And then it was just like I came here from Minneapolis, not because like Minneapolis is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you drive like 30 minutes outside of Minneapolis, everything sucks. There's some little spots like Duluth, Minnesota is like a cool spot for a weekend. That's where I went to college. That place is all right. But yeah, no, I moved from Minneapolis just to check out Denver. It was right after legalization, and now I've been working in the industry, the cannabis industry, for like 7 years, something like that. Worked as a bud tender forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I got I started doing comedy in Duluth in college, and then I kept doing it in Minneapolis. I still do it sometimes in Denver, but I definitely don't do it often enough to be like, I'm a comedian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like something I do when I write some jokes, and it feels right.
So how you get into that? How did you get into comedy?
Narcissism.
A lot of people using that word a lot lately.
No, it is. So I think it was like, so it was just, I quit playing football, and so there was definitely like, I don't know if you'd call it identity crisis, but it was like, I've been star football guy my whole life. Now who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And so I started writing. I wrote for the school newspaper. I just wrote for myself. And I noticed that like naturally everything just came out funny. Like it was just in my instincts to write a joke in the article that probably didn't need a joke. And then so like there was also just kind of like a boom in stand-up at the time. I fell in love with these were guys that I know things about now that I did not at the time.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Louis C.K.
Okay.
He was like, it was like, here's this weird, ugly ginger that talks about, like, jerking off on subways and stuff like that. And it was like, oh, okay, so this goof can be a stand-up comedian. I can talk about my cat and my dick. Right. I can like, in separate jokes, of course.
Yeah. Your cat and your dick. Wow. What kind of combo is that?
Yeah. They've never met, just to be clear. But yeah, it was just it was something that I kind of realized that like I've always just been like those instincts have always been there to like to try and get a rise out of people, to make people laugh.
Gotcha.
But it was just like up until then it was just like, yeah, that's just like this whatever thing about my personality. And then I realized like, oh, that's kind of a skill. That's kind of like, that's not just a skill, but it's also like it's the lens I see the world through.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not nobody. I'm just good at first impressions, and now you got me on your podcast.
Have you bombed on stage?
Okay. Here's what. So you watch a Louis C.K. special, you watch Chappelle, you watch Bill Burr, you watch whoever. I also fell in love with Patrice O'Neal, and not enough people know about Patrice O'Neal. Go watch Patrice O'Neal's Elephant in the Room special on Paramount. Not that anybody has Paramount, but
I do.
Do you? Okay, watch Elephant in the Room. It's one of my favorite comedy specials ever.
Okay.
But you see them like selling out theaters and shit, and it's like, of course, no reasonable person thinks like, oh yeah, I just got to do comedy for 6 months and then I'll be in theaters. Like I understand that that's a ridiculous expectation.
Right.
But what people don't expect, and maybe no one tells them, at least initially, is that like doing comedy, the vast majority of doing comedy is you sign up for an open mic. You let's say you were good about it and you showed up 15 minutes early before sign up, so you're one of the first 8 people to put your name on that list. And then you sit there for an hour roughly before the show starts, and you watch that list get longer and longer and longer. And then they put up the list. They usually just like tape it to a thing. Everybody goes and checks where they're at. And you see that there are 36 comedians going on tonight. And everybody's getting 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you are on 33rd. And so you you're sitting there with your notebook. I'm gonna try these jokes, I'm gonna try those jokes. You're watching comedians go up. Some are good, some are terrible. That's just kind of the nature of open mics, and open mics can be very fun. But a lot of times it's like you're waiting for your turn, and one often bad comedian is going up after another, and you're watching like, oh, this couple gets up and leave. And it's like, oh, these guys have been here an hour and a half and they didn't even know it was a comedy night, so they get up and leave. And then the group of 6 that the comedian brought that went on third in the show, they all watched their friend go up. They don't care about me or the other 35 comedians that are coming on. So the audience is just slowly trickling out. And then you're up. And they call your name, and you stand on stage, and you look at an empty room. Except for like 1, 2, 3 people that are like all separated. 2 of them are like hammered drunk, barely paying attention. And then there's comedians in the back that are all talking amongst each other.
Yeah.
Because
not even
they've heard your jokes. Yeah. Like, it's like, just go to the bar. But
right.
And then you tell your cat dick jokes to a room that is like, you're like, okay, you spent an hour just staring at this joke. Like, it doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. And you're like, I think this works. And then you say it, and the room goes. And you do that over and over and over again until you kind of whittle it down into something that's funny. And like, that 3 minute, that joke you wrote that it's about 3 minutes long, you really thought you had something. Right. Actually, there's like two good things in there, and it's 45 seconds of comedy. Yeah. Which is fine. Like, that's the process. Yeah. But it just, there was like a year-long stretch where I was like, I'm doing this. I'm gonna try and be a road comedian. I'm gonna try and get out there and like book dates. And then I met some comics on the road. Yeah. And they're like living out of their cars. Crazy. They're miserable guys.
A lot of comedians need therapy, coaches, all of that. A lot of comedians go through a lot of trauma and like death experience. But if that's your profession, I just feel like you're accepting the fact that you're going to have a lot of hurt and pain in your life, because really it's your job as a comedian to turn the unlikely stuff that we go through and the stuff that we don't like in life into a funny moment to lighten the load. And so I think that's just a part of the weight that y'all carry as a comedian. Yeah. And I couldn't hold it. It's like I couldn't hold it at all.
But you hold it in other ways. Like, just like you're saying, jokes become the coping mechanism. Yeah. It's like, oh, if I can laugh at this, it doesn't feel so heavy and devastating.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of comedians use it as a coping mechanism. They use the stage as their therapy, which is cool, but they never really deal with their issues.
So that's something that comedians love to say is, I don't need to go to therapy. Yeah. I do this instead. Yeah. And the number of times that I've just wanted to be like, you should also just go to therapy. Yeah. Like,
right.
It's not. Like, if you enjoy it and it makes you feel good, do it. Like, especially if it's comedy, like something that's creative as an outlet. It's like it can be a really beautiful, powerful form of expression, as well as just like a good time to have a goof. Yeah, all that's healthy to me. But to say that this replaces therapy is really insane. Unhealthy. Yeah. Insane. Yeah.
I was at this event with Rebel. He had put on this training event, and one of the ladies that were there, she was in the comedy world for a long time, like as a manager or something like that. Yeah. And I was talking to her about my life coaching stuff, and I was telling her, oh, that's dope, that's how you've been able to navigate in the comedy world. I've been, talking about maybe starting my own comedy club and everything like that. She was like, what you need to do is be targeting your coaching to comedians. And I was like, that I would not get paid. Like I would not get paid, y'all. Yeah. Like, unless I'm hitting these high rollers, like, I would not get paid. Okay? Because like you said, most of the comedians, they struggle for years before they get noticed. Yeah. Before they get their first break and everything like that. So, much respect to all the comedians out there. Like, for real, I love y'all. Support y'all, everything like that, but get the help y'all need. Just simple as that.
Yeah,
get the help that
like from a professional.
Yes, from a professional. Yeah. Whether I recommend therapy for everybody, but if you're just looking for like a stepping stone, a coach or a counselor, or maybe even a mentor, as in some cases, those are the places where you want to start. All right, moving on. All right, so what is your attraction to black women? Was it like always a thing, or?
Okay. I'm gonna start saying some shit that could so easily be edited in a way to make me look so bad. So context is important here.
We need all the context. Context is key.
Okay, on the most like on the most base level.
Yes.
Is like at the root of my attraction to black women is me being 12 years old and seeing the Bootylicious music video from Destiny's Child. That's it. I'm 12. I feel like there's a better way for me to like phrase this, but this is just like the best way I've come about so far. And this is me describing me being 12, 13, what I like about women and what like the physical features that I am drawn to.
Yeah.
So this is the most shallow form. Like this is the most shallow explanation I can offer when you're talking about like the origins of it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Is I noticed that I just liked exaggerated features. Like I really liked big smiles, big hair, big asses, like all these, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are so much more than those things. Yes. I just want to make that absolutely clear that like my attraction is not just like I like fat asses and rap music. Yeah. That is like I understand why that sucks, and I really don't think that's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, you know, you're drawn to what you're drawn to. It's like an energy thing. Yeah, and it sucks because, you know, I grew up in Minneapolis, but then my parents moved us out, like right before high school, my parents moved us out to St. Cloud, Minnesota, which like, so when I'm talking about 30 minutes outside of Minneapolis, this is that kind of place where it just there's no reason to ever go to St. Cloud. Don't go to St. Cloud, Minnesota. It sucks there. And it just like, you know, white girls that are vaguely pretty, whatever. Like, it's fine. You know, you're blonde and your face is symmetrical.
Yeah.
It's good, I guess. But it never like, you know, generated this like, oh, I gotta go talk to her. Yeah. And it's just like black women bring that out of me.
Okay.
So I don't have this eloquent explanation about like how I just love the culture and I like these women. It's like, you know,
it's just an energy thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to set it clear for the people. I was like
totally aware of not the difference because that's like because that's not for me to decide what
right.
You know what I mean? The difference between like attraction, preference, whatever, and fetish.
Yes.
So
yes,
I've dated women of all shapes, sizes, and colors. It is not like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that more often than not when I'm swiping and swiping in Denver as a man with this preference is fucking brutal.
So you're on the dating apps and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what has your experience been as far as dating and trying to find someone?
Just someone?
I mean, what are you looking for? That's a better question. What are you looking for right now? Because you're still in the midst of finalizing your divorce and you're getting over that whole situation. So what are you looking for? You just looking for someone that you can kind of kick it with, or are you looking for some?
Yeah, it's tough for me because like I am a person in a place that probably still has some healing to do, still has some work to be done on myself, but like, you know, if I meet someone, like the timing is never going to be perfect.
Right.
You're never going to be like, okay, I woke up this morning and now I am ready for a committed relationship.
Right.
You know, it's just not that black and white.
It's not.
So like there are times that like, of course, like coming right out of the divorce, I think I waited at least a couple months to even like try and ask for somebody's number.
Yeah.
And we're still friends. Her name's Evilise, by the way. Thank you for saying yes. We had a nice picnic. I baked her a loaf of bread. I was trying to.
Oh yeah, this little sidebar real quick. This white boy, okay, can't cook. All right, he cooked for me, and I was like, cook for again. Like, you still owe me a meal.
I have salt in my house, and I use it.
Yeah, I mean, food well seasoned. Well seasoned. Okay, we're not getting paper plate. Okay, we're not getting basic. Ain't no raisin and potato salad. We are.
Wait, what did I make for you?
You made breakfast for me.
Yeah. You came over. I made hash browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really delicious.
Mm-hmm. Food is like this satisfaction of every fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you do it right.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a love language.
The way it smells, the way it looks, like the way it just like makes you feel fucking human by experiencing all these things all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like food is special to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I am interested in meeting people, but like I don't have like, you know, some people like to put dating with intention. I am dating without intention. Without any intention at all. I am dating unintentionally. I am meeting people and making them laugh, and sometimes they want to have sex with me. It's great. But I mean, like, you know, if I find if there is that, like, if I start feeling those big feelings, yeah, I'm totally open to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are those big feelings that you have to feel?
That's
because you're saying unless I feel these big feelings, but do you know what that looks like or feels like to you?
I use the phrase big feelings because it's so tough deeper to describe.
Yeah, it's not surface.
You know, it is a connection energy thing where it's like this person almost feels like family in like. And that happens really fast for me. And so that's been a problem. You know, like I am quick with the L word. Stupid. And I struggle to like protect myself in that regard. Like I think a lot of times I set myself up to get hurt. Which is not me saying like, this is not me trying to create like, my wife left me and it's just I do this like because I know for a fact I've hurt people, but I think that as a person that is, you know, made of feelings, this is how I don't know if it's how I've been built, but it's who I've become. I think I expose myself to someone that can just leave and break me in half. Yeah.
I have to be intentional so I don't waste my time. But from your standard, I would say intentional could also be you just knowing the noticing the red flags or yellow flags, you know. And you got to know your boundaries and your non-negotiables. I say you have to have your non-negotiables. Like if this shows up, that's it. Because again, you don't want to expose yourself to getting hurt.
I think that's what almost everyone is kind of doing. Like dating, when I guess more broadly, like most everybody is dating in hopes of finding a forever person. And that doesn't mean that like every person that you get the number of, you are like, I don't think everybody's like, is this person husband material while they're sending those first 8 text messages?
No,
you know
not
what I mean?
at all, not at all.
Yeah.
But that's what dating is for.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to, again, dating is for you to get to know if this person could be that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't come off first just like, oh, I saw this person. Well, some, because I've heard those stories.
Yeah.
But I don't think most often you're not just looking at somebody and be like, he's husband material.
Yeah, right.
You know, you're just like, again, it's that energy, it's the connection, it's the conversation. Yeah. And you're like, you know what? And then through the dates, you get to see that person's character.
Right.
And you be like, you know what? Okay. This is adding up. This is adding up. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what dating is. Do you like to multi-date, or you just like to date one person at a time?
So, one person at a time.
Okay.
With a small caveat. Okay. So, up until all the way through my divorce, I've been, I think the phrase is serial monogamous. Mm-hmm. So I pretty much went from, the girl I dated in high school up into college. I was with her for like 6 years. And then in college, like, I don't know, 6 months after that, I met a girl. We dated after I graduated for like a year. So it was like another 3, 4, 5 year relationship, something like that. And then met my ex-wife, and we were together a total of, I want to say 8, almost 9 years. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm just a slut.
I'm glad you're able to admit it, because most men can't. So I'm just saying, thank you for all your honesty that you're breaking down right now. Okay.
I told myself I was gonna be more open to just like and like of course sex is implied in this.
Yeah.
But like to just like meeting people and just being cool with something that isn't this like hardline path to serious committed relationship. Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to just like meet someone and they're cool and the sex was all right, and you know, have someone. Never mind.
I was about to say something, but I was about to be
like, I have someone in mind, but you know, I don't know how broad this reaches. And it's, I think, after my experience with the divorce and just like seeing those numbers, it is a coin flip as to whether or not that marriage is going to work. Mm-hmm. So I can't just keep rushing to the coin flip.
Yeah.
Like I have to, for my own sanity and mental health, like I have to be okay.
Right.
Meeting people, going on a date with her, and then kind of, maybe not really, and then I don't know, someone you meet on Bumble, whatever. Like, and it's hard because my brain is wired to like, oh, I've made some kind of connection with this person.
Yeah.
But like, I'm still getting those messages. I'm pointing at my phone, by the way. I don't know why you point. Yeah. I'm still getting like, you know, this person is not my girlfriend. Yeah. There is no real commitment here.
Right.
But like, because my brain is wired to like, oh, that's your second wife. That's her. And I know that's like an unhealthy instinct, especially after talking to somebody for, I don't know, a few weeks or something like that. Yeah. So I'm conflicted. I've been kind of talking to somebody for the last like 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
But like, you know, I haven't deleted Bumble. I certainly spend a whole lot less time on it now that I have like made a connection like this.
Yeah.
But like, you know, my phone still buzzes. So I don't know what to do. It's
delete
not like
the apps. Delete the app.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Like after 2-3 weeks.
If you feel like the connection is like that, then yes.
I haven't responded to a message in about 2 weeks.
If you haven't been on it lately.
Yeah.
Delete the app.
But like, have you realized
you can delete the app and come back to it if it doesn't turn out the way that you want? Yeah. Delete the app.
But in that gap.
Delete the app.
But in that gap, that's where, you know what I mean? It's like.
Because you're not together. Or what are you, like, are y'all dating? What are y'all doing? Or you just been talking and you feeling a good energy from it and you want to date?
Yeah. She's dope.
Okay.
She's really dope.
All right.
And she's gorgeous. Like, you know, I have high hopes. But, you know, sometimes that other girl pops up on the phone and it's like, well, I'm a single guy. Why wouldn't I, you know what I mean?
Deep breath.
I know, and this is, so I'm like fighting one instinct and perhaps creating another unhealthy instinct. Mm-hmm. But,
I can't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But I just, from what you're saying, if you have this connection with this woman and you're not actively on your dating apps,
yeah,
delete the apps. They will be there. They're not going anywhere.
Davina, they're so pretty. You don't understand.
Well, then multi-date.
Do you realize that women are pretty, Davina?
Yeah. All women are beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, all women are beautiful. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to keep, it seems like you want to keep it open. Keep your options open. So if that's the case, keep your options open. If you want to date this girl, date her. Y'all, until y'all sit down and say, hey, let's take this to you're obligated to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
So, but she says you don't like to multi-date.
I don't. Like, that's why I haven't gone on a date since her and I have been on a date. Okay. So, like, I'm uncomfortable, like, going out with girl X on Tuesday and going out with girl Y on Thursday. Like, that doesn't feel good to me.
Again, you seem like you want to be open right now and open to the possibilities of just, you're exploring. You're trying to figure out what you want. Mm-hmm. And I think actually multi-dating would be good for you.
You don't think? Or
I said I think it would be. Yeah. Just so you're not hopping into a situation like you've said you've done in the past. You can really see, okay, all these girls is offering this, but who do I feel the most, you know?
Yeah, because I can't tell. Go ahead.
But in that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're like Adam here, okay, with that, you cannot be kissing and fucking on all these girls. You can't. So if you're going to multi-date, don't do that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, that is not good for you. That is not good for them. The pH balance is off, okay? Don't do that. I think multi-dating would work for you for other reasons besides sex, okay? But if sex is something that you're like, no, I'm doing it regardless, then you just need to be tied down to the girl that you've been dating.
So, talking to someone seems to be a phase. And then there's dating or seeing.
I don't consider me dating somebody unless we've been out on 3 dates, at least.
Oh, there's a number.
That's my preference.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody else thinks. It could be one for you. It could be more than 3. But for me, I'm not saying we're dating unless you have planned. You, the man, has planned 3 dates.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Anything before that is we're just talking. We're getting to know each other. We're trying to see if we want to date. Then if we're dating, now I'm seeing, I'm seeing your character. I'm seeing, could you potentially be something I could entertain for a long period of time? That's what dating is for me.
And I guess it's also what qualifies as a date. So is drinks a date? Or drinks or coffee, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like if you are meeting in a public setting where you gotta buy shit.
Yes. I prefer my first few dates to be like in the morning, afternoon type situation.
Sure.
Anything, now that I'm older, anything past 8 o'clock, it better be a good thing for me. I'm serious because
8?
Yes, because once I'm at home and comfortable in this house, it takes a while. It takes a lot for me to get up and be like, dang, I gotta go out tonight it takes me a lot already, just in general, to hang out with y'all and everything like that late at night.
Who's y'all?
You know, my friends.
Oh, I thought you said. I think you pointed at me. I didn't know if that meant like me and my friends or just white people.
I'm dead.
I didn't know if you pointed at me like, you of the white delegation.
No, our friend group. Okay, I'm talking about our friend group. Yeah. Like y'all like to go out and party, and I'm not. I'm not like. Nah. I know how to have fun, and I'm not saying that I won't do any night events or anything like that. But when you're first starting to, like, again, those first 3 days, I'd rather it be like earlier in the day, nothing past 8 o'clock. Then I can kind of see like where we can go from there. But I don't mind coffee dates. I don't mind a brunch, lunch.
Yeah.
Those type of things.
So come over to my house and watch the finals. Date? Because I would say that's like 1 step more casual, 1 or 2 steps more casual.
See, okay, I'm trying to talk from my experience and then like speak from for my Christians out there, a spiritual experience. Look, from that perspective, my Christian perspective, okay, if I'm following that, you cannot be trusted. Most of us can't be trusted alone at somebody's house.
Oh.
Okay? Unless there's some type of supervision.
Okay. Supervision.
Yeah. Supervision. Like it's a double date type situation.
You gonna bring your dad?
Hey, some of us got to. Okay? Some of us got to. I've never done it. I'm just saying. From a Christian perspective, because I know, like, I have teenagers and everything that we watch. Yeah. And so sometimes, yes, your parents has to supervise that. Maybe you got to do a double date, and so, but if the first date he's asking you to come over his house and do something, if you're not mature, I'll just say that. I won't even put an age in it. But if you're not mature enough to like say no, be comfortable in that space without doing something, I would have to say no. Yeah. That's not a date. I think a date qualifies as going out because if I'm always coming to your house and we're never going out together, I feel like you're hiding me, and why are you hiding? So that's a whole nother thing. So I don't recommend a lot of the date situations y'all are doing to be at the house. I don't. Now me, I've gone off of, again, kind of what you spoke about earlier. I've gone off of energy, going off of like, do I feel like I can go over this person's house and still maintain my abstinence and all this type of stuff.
Just to be totally clear, when I made her breakfast,
it was a night after.
It was not. Yeah, it was not. It was not the morning after.
Yes.
Those were platonic hash browns.
It was definitely.
Which is gonna be the name of my first mixtape.
Platonic hash browns. That ain't even that bad. Like, no. Thanks for clearing that up, because probably somebody would have thought that. Yeah. But me personally, now, again, age and maturity has a lot to do with it. But I'm able to go over a man's house and not do anything. Mm-hmm. How long that will keep up, if I keep going over that house, there's a high chance that I'm not saying no to anything that goes on that night. Like, that's just true being honest. This is bare fruit. That's what we do here.
And from what so here's how I've like cultivated my approach to dating is having. I've always, like, my best friend in college was a girl named Kate. Mm-hmm. I've just always had women close to me. Like, it's just always been an easier connection for me, friendship or otherwise. So I've just had a lot of women in my life that have got done with a date and sent me the message that said like, this guy was a fucking animal. I can't, like, this guy was like he wanted me to pay for it. He wanted me, like, he kept pushing to try me to get to his house, like all these things that I've just like, and I've just picked up like some recurring themes from shitty men. Yeah. And it's like, okay, so don't be that guy. Yeah. It's like just been like an elimination process. Like, don't be 20 text messages in a row guy. Don't be invite her to my house on the first date guy. Yeah. Don't, like, all these tiny little lessons. Yeah. It's like, okay, so I've cultivated a dating persona based around avoiding what women hate, which feels positive, right? Yeah. 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 It's like, you know how, like, when you watch football, they're like, yeah, the Vikings are playing, they're not playing to win, they're playing not to lose. I feel like I'm playing not to be canceled on Twitter. Not to be, what was that dude? Remember West Elm Jacob? I don't. He was just like, he got memed on because there was a guy that lived in New York that worked for West Elm. It's like I think it's like a furniture thing that sends me emails all the time still. And he was just like a terrible date. And like one person posts a story and they go, wait, was this guy's name Jacob? Yeah. Did he work at West Elm? Oh my God, you also went? Oh, and then they tell their story. All of a sudden there was like dozens and dozens of women in New York that were sharing their stories about this guy named West Elm Jacob. So I'm just trying so hard not to be that guy. The terrible date you went on. Like, women go through some shit. Yeah. And they go through some shit unnecessarily as a direct result of men having some really bad habits. Yeah. And so I, like, you know, I try to be understanding of that. I don't offer to take the shortcut through the fucking alleyway when we're walking to our car. I don't, you know what I mean? Right. It's like there's a number of things that you have to understand are red flags to any woman. Yeah. Like, there are some things that are just kind of baseline, and it's like, it just seems like the bar is in hell. I get compliments. This is funny. I get compliments for being able to cook, having a clean toilet, and washing my ass. That's like, that is, those are surprising to women when men offer those three things. Yeah. Like, I can season my food. Yes. Yes. And I'm aware that soap and water being near my ass is not good enough. You got to get in there. Got to, because, and that's a part of this whole, like, men wanting to homosexualize everything. Yeah. It's like, you can't even wash your ass because you think that's homophobic, because you think the water coming between your crack and cleaning out your particles. And I wish it was just particles. I wish it was just particles. Every few months we get to, like, y'all ain't washing your feet, you ain't washing your legs, you ain't washing your, like, you are supposed to clean every part of your body. Yeah, everything gets dirty. Everything is dirty. Clean. Be clean. Like, I don't, why are we still saying this? And wash your toilet. Like, the toilet. And the back of it, please. How are you so okay with the yellow-brown ring that forms on the toilet and in your bathroom? Yeah. Because I check all that shit. You can't be okay with that. I check all of it. Okay? Clean your shower. The shower, yeah. That's a bigger project, though, so I get lazy on that one. I don't care. Just clean your shower. Every week. Every week. Every week? Every week. Every week? Okay. I can push 2 weeks, but every week for me, I'm cleaning my shower. And I'm cleaning my toilet every week, too. Yes. Yeah. The bathroom in general needs to be clean every week. Yeah. Like, seeing hair anywhere near a toilet seat is like, okay, so you haven't given a shit for a minute. You don't care. Because, like, you could, like, just grab toilet paper, go whoop, and wash your hands. And that goes for men and women, because I've been in some women's houses, and they shit is not clean. Yeah. And I'll be like, especially their shower, I was like, you go in there and clean.
it's just nasty to me. Like, moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, I think you wanted to talk about God at some point, right? we could. I think we can transition pretty smoothly.
As I was talking with Adam and getting to know him more, he disclosed that he doesn't have a belief.
I think agnostic gets closest.
And so I wanted him. This is a big part of why I wanted him on the pod, because
I had a feeling it had something to do with that. I was like, she meets a lot of white dudes in Denver. Why this one? But whatever, go ahead.
Well, they didn't have the belief system either. Like Denver's really, you can go meet people who believe in a lot of different things. Okay, you want to be free? This is the place to be.
Yeah.
You'll find your community here. Trust and believe that. But I wanted you more so on the pod because everybody knows that I'm a Christian and everything like that. But I feel like a lot of Christians don't feel like they can interact or be friends with someone who's a non-believer. And me, myself, do I discern these relationships? Yes, I do. But I also, with a lot of my friendships, this is not just pertaining to Adam, but with a lot of my friendships and the people I hang around, I feel like if God is putting me in their life, it's more so for me to show up as a light, as we are supposed to as Christians, in their life, and just be what God would be to them, which is still show love, kindness, all the stuff, And through me doing that, there will be, because I've seen it firsthand, there will be opportunities and things that come up where you will see. They might not notice it firsthand, but you will see how God is moving in them, even when they don't even notice.
Yeah.
Because we had that situation when we went to go Sierra's place, and we were helping her. I was like, that whole night was like, I can't believe what is happening. Like the Holy Spirit stepped in big ways.
Y'all had me quoting the Old Testament.
He was quoting scriptures and everything. I was like,
it's a good line.
I was like, ain't no way this agnostic atheist is quoting scripture right now. But things like that, people just be like, oh no, I just know it and stuff like that. No, I know because I pray over my friends. I pray over, before I go anywhere, I pray, making sure that, the situation's going to be good and everything like that. Doesn't always turn out good, but God shows up when needed. And I'm able to see because, again, I'm discerning and I'm doing what God is telling me to do. I'm able to see the things that they can't see. And I'm just like, okay, God, I know why I'm here. I know why you have me around this person and everything like that. So, again, a big part of why he's here is for us, the Christians out there, because y'all could be so judgmental, push people aside, and not only can that person teach you something about yourself, but you, again, just being a light in this world like we're supposed to, you could be the only Jesus that person sees. And so you have to make sure that you're maneuvering right, regardless of what culture, environment that you are in and what other people believe, because you're always going to meet some people that believe differently than you, but you're still supposed to treat them with love and respect. I mean, that's just commandments. So anyway, so my main question to you is like, why are you agnostic? Like, why do you not believe in anything? Or have you just not found something that you can really relate to?
So I think that humans are naturally wired to look for patterns, to look for structure, to like I think it makes us feel better when we're able to explain things. So in a much more, I'm not trying to compare
you're good.
Christianity to astrology. I understand there's kind of levels to this, but like I think like astrology, not something I believe in, but like, I think people, they look into the stars and they see, oh, that looks like a belt, and that looks like a horse, and this looks like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, okay, so there's structure here. There's like, I can wrap my head around the unbelievable infinity of time and space because I can see these patterns.
Yeah.
And it like, you know, oh, that person treated me this way because they're a Pisces. You know what I mean? It's like, you can explain things with it.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, like, obviously a much more grand scale, I think people do that with religion. It's like, it's a way to make sense of things, even if you, you know, even if you have to believe in a virgin getting pregnant, it's like, but all this other stuff falls into place, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just it's a coping mechanism. It's a way for us to look out into the world and see a point to it. And I don't.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't see.
Do you wait? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but so you don't see a point in religion, or you just don't.
To existence.
Okay.
Like, I don't see like, oh, this is what humans were meant to do.
Okay.
I don't think humans were meant to do anything other than just like, I think we just happened, and now we're just here. and it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And we keep making a bigger and bigger mess.
Gotcha.
And we're all just bumping into each other. And so I you know, I find, you know, some comfort in that concept.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know if you would call that a belief, because at the core of what I guess you could call my belief system is that I don't know shit. Like, I don't have anything figured out.
Yeah.
There's so little like certainty in my life. In a what's the word? In an existential way. I see no certainty. Like, I don't see, you know, their book says this, the other book says that, and sometimes people are reading the same book and they come up with completely different interpretations of it. It's like, what are the rules?
Yeah.
So I don't see harm in like being a human being in 2023 is difficult. It is stressful. You are constant. There's things constantly expected of you.
Yeah.
And you're failing all the time. and so like, you're in this painful place and you're like, there's got to be a reason for this shit, right? There's got to be like some plan that makes this suffering worth it. And I don't think there is. I think you just suffer. And I'm also open to being wrong. That's why I think agnosticism, I think, makes the most sense when it comes to like putting a name on it. Like, because when you say atheist, you think of a 20-year-old that is arguing with somebody on a college campus. You are thinking of a deeply unlikable person. Not that that's necessarily fair, but I think it's just true.
Right.
You're thinking about someone that is confrontational, and it's like, there is no God. What are you talking with your stupid book? You know? Yeah. And that is not me.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
you're open to being wrong.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If I die and
but I mean,
God's like, dude, you really fucked this up.
Yeah.
Like, you're about to get in.
Like, as you're talking, I just feel like you're just not into religion, because I'm not. Like, I grew up Kojic, Church of God in Christ. And I intentionally separated myself from the church, because I was like, do I know church or do I know God? Yeah. Like, because people really know church. Yeah. But they don't know God. Yeah. They don't know God. And so I had to separate. And then that's when I began to go on my own journey, finding out, who is this Jesus guy? Who is this God that I've been learning about all these years? Who is that to me? Because I do feel like religion is here to separate, and God is all about unity. And so if you're over here talking about this is right, well, the Jews is, like Jewish culture is talking about this is right, and the Kojic folks over here is like, no, this is how you supposed to do it, and the Baptists over here like, no, this is how we get down, and it's just like that's separation. God didn't want that. That's not kingdom, and so I can't relate to religion, but and I had to do the work to find out, okay, what do I truly do believe, and so are you open to finding out out that, or have you went on that journey? I'm just curious.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a journey. I mean, when I was 17, 18, 19, I was going with my friend to like a youth group because it was like, it was like I was open-minded enough, and I guess I basically believed in God. But like I wasn't raised religious. And part of the reason why I wasn't raised religious, and here's the thing, is that my parents, I think some religious folks, when they find out that you weren't raised going to church or observing really any God practices, they think that like, parents were trying to keep you away from the church. It was like, I have no doubt that if I had gone to my parents and said, I want to go to church every Sunday, at the very least, I don't know if they would have gone with me. They probably would have, but they would have, at the very least, they would have taken me and picked me up. That would not have been a problem. Like my grandparents were churchgoers and stuff like that. But I think, and he hasn't said this directly, but like my dad said that he was a Catholic altar boy growing up, and that didn't happen. But he said, he did. He said that like, so because of that, he was in the back end of the church. He was seeing how what's the term? How the sausage gets made or something like that. And it was like, so he gets to know the pastor. He gets to know these religious leaders. And these guys are cheating on their wives. They're telling people that alcohol is a sin against God, and they're getting drunk on the weekends. It's like he saw all this hypocrisy and is like,
hypocrites. Hypocrites exist, and I can't say that enough. It's in every church, every religion. Hypocrites do exist. A lot of the people that's preaching in that pulpit ain't living what they're preaching. Credit, but at the same, and I should say instead of but, and at the same time, what your experience in the church, what your experience with Christian folks, that's not your experience with God. Two separate things. Y'all like to blame God and Jesus for the stupid shit that these humans who are just made out of flesh, who still sin. Okay, you put all your hope and trust in that instead of putting all your hope and trust in Him. That's why people be so attached to their pastors and everything like that, and that's why when church hurt happens, it's like a detriment. And because
church hurt.
Church hurt.
Is that a?
It's a thing in the Black community. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not excusing whatever your experience was in the church, but understand what you experience with that person, with these people, is not the experience that you truly have when you try to find that relationship with God. And that's why a relationship with God, not just knowing, oh, He does this and this and this is how it goes. No, having a relationship with Him is key. And again, a lot of people won't know or have that relationship until they really have an encounter. Can talk God to people all day, but until they have encounter with Him, like He shows up in their life in a real way for them to be open enough to accept it, then that's when true transformation can happen in their life. So I had to just drop all that, but I'm just, but I mean, it's real. And
because so you mentioned, I think one of the biggest driving factors of like church attendance is, or just people being religious is community. Like I can find a place with people that more or less think like me, and we can create this bond and move forward as a community, as this like stronger thing that feels better, because it's like humans are naturally social and they naturally want to create these communities.
Definitely.
I just haven't found any solace in doing that through God.
Right.
Like
I'm just, you're good. I'm just like, I'm worried about your spiritual.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I mean, as a coach, I'm like, okay, we're going to work on your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, and your physical. Like, how are these operating with one another? Like, because they all coincide with one another.
Yeah.
And so, if you're not doing anything to feed that spiritual that spiritual part of yourself, I guess, I'm like, okay, then how is everything else operating?
So spirituality implies
you can love a tree.
Being. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I just feel like, I don't know, my personal opinion. Okay. For somebody not to believe in nothing, I feel like you're making your life really, really hard.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why? Because what makes my life what makes like my day-to-day life more difficult than the average believer?
Well, we talked about this. Remember, you talked about how, like, we don't have to go into it, but addiction in your family and stuff like that, and how, like, when they go to AA, they say that you need to believe in something higher higher than
you
yourself.
don't have to call it God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, it could be a tree.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't matter. But I feel like it's the same way. Like, there's always going to be, again, we go through trials and tribulations. We go through things in life that in our own strength, we're incapable of doing. And so to have something that you can just be like, okay, Lord Jesus, Buddha, whatever it is for you, to be like, I need your help in this.
Yeah.
Whether it be Mother Nature herself, like, I need your help in this. I feel like it kind of helps you to, even if you feel like it's within yourself, like, I'm a king, I'm this, I have the power, like, it's just like that extra oomph to me, like, that gives you to, like, keep going.
So,
I could be wrong. I'm not no Bible belt, okay? So that's my daddy in them. Yeah. But I'm still on this journey myself, so I don't take my words for like the end all to be all, y'all. So
I'll offer a metaphor that you can reject.
Yeah.
So you're kind of saying, like, that this spirituality that you're describing kind of gives you, like, a true north.
Yes.
Like, I have a compass. I'm trying to find my way out of the woods.
Right.
This godly presence in my life gives me a direction.
Yes.
I'm saying that I feel no need to have a compass.
Okay. You're just going.
Whatever
happens in these woods,
I don't see a destination.
Out.
It's like I think life is the woods. Like, I think that. I remember I said something, not the compass thing, but I said something like this to Sierra, where it's like, yeah, I just don't, I don't know. I think we die, and that's just kind of it. And she was like, man, if I knew that, if I really believed that, I would just off myself. I was like, really? I was like, cause to me, it makes me want to make more of this, like, tiny drop in the bucket time we have. It's like, if humans have some kind of meaning, purpose, whatever, the closest I can get to it is, like, humans are here to think and to love.
Yeah.
It's like, these are just, like, basic principles that come very naturally, I think, to being human. I don't see God in these things.
Yeah.
And I think we're just here to, like, uplift each other, to create community.
Yeah.
And I think that we do, and, like, we're not going to get into politics, but like, I think a lot of things we do in America is, like, anti-community. It's like we make choices to split each other up.
Yeah.
And I think it's really unnatural, and I think that's why I think it's a major contributor to, like, why antidepressants are so goddamn popular, and like people are really struggling, because, like, they there's just no there's no sense of community that makes you feel like you belong to this thing that's bigger than yourself. And that's and like for a lot of people, it is God or whatever whatever they call it.
Right.
I think that it should be, and maybe it's not, but it should be good enough that like you're a person in my life, or even you're a person geographically near me. You live in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It should be good enough that you're just that person, and I want to do what I can to make your life better. Even if that's leave you alone. But like I want to be able to like live in a place where I don't feel like people are incentivized to like target each other and or beat one another. Like I don't think competition is all that natural to people. I think naturally we want to just like make cool shit and be happy for each other when it gets done. You know?
I get it.
Yeah.
I do. Like I do get it. I think you have great sense of like as us as people, just how we should be maneuvering, like you said, in love, with kindness, being aware of who is around us and not harming each other pretty much. And as far as community goes, just for my Christian folks real quick, like when I moved here and the pandemic was wrapping up and everything like that, things were opening back up, I felt God keep telling me like, you need to be in community. I went to go find a church. I was going to church for a minute, but then I started meeting people outside the church. And God was like, when I said community, I didn't mean church. Like I didn't specifically mean church.
I meant bowling.
But when people hear community, if you grew up in the church, you're thinking, oh, I got to get back to church.
Yeah.
Community doesn't mean always church.
Yeah.
It can mean that you just need to find people who think like you or maybe not think like you. Because, again, I'm surrounded by people that don't think. I'm surrounded by people on a daily basis that don't think the way that I think.
Yeah.
Okay? But the fact that you all accept me still, know where I stand and where I'm at as far as my belief system and stuff like that, and still respect me enough to show me love, kindness, and all that type stuff, then I'm just like, okay, this is cool.
I mean, obviously some churches are going to be better than others. This is certainly not like, I have not come onto your podcast to be like, actually don't go to church. But like there's a very particular set of rules in some of those places.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes if you break that rule once, if you're a habitual breaker of certain rules, sorry, this ain't your community.
Right.
And that's like, that makes me really sad when you think about how inclusive the teachings of the Bible really ought to be.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's room for me and people and degenerates just like me to exist right alongside religious people. I don't think, and I'm, politically I'm way left, and a bunch of my peers over there are like, we need the government to ban religion. And I'm like, I don't know about all that, but people should stop doing stupid shit, violent shit in the name of God.
Right.
That I can get on board with that.
Definitely.
But like, no God for anyone to me feels not good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I see you. I see you. This has been wonderful. I think you've had one of the longest podcast episodes thus far.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
But good conversation.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Barefoot Podcast. We will catch y'all next time. All right? Just keep your head